Okay. Welcome everyone for this second episode of Player's Perspective. I've invited another player that I've worked with in the past, RJ Jazul of the Phoenix Super LPG. I got to work with RJ before in Alaska. He's one of another really smart player and a really good shooter. Okay, so the theme of this episode is going to be about shooters mentality and what it takes to really shoot at a high rate at the highest level of play in our country. Okay, so welcome RJ. Thank you for coming on and willing to talk about your game against San Miguel.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you for having me.
I mentioned it already. We're going to do your game against San Miguel. For those of you who haven't watched that game yet, that was the game that RJ pretty much went crazy and hit nine threes in that game. It's really, really rare to see anyone hit nine threes, much less at the PBA level. Okay, and RJ was able to do this. I don't know how many minutes, but you'll see later in the video that we're gonna go through. He came off the bench. He hit a bunch of threes late in the game. Pretty much won them the game, which is an important game for them for placing purposes. RJ, you have any thoughts on the game?
Naalala ko lang yung the fourth quarter, if when I watch it, like before, after the game, parang I didn't even know na yun na pala yun. So parang kasi siyempre, players mentality lang naman is to win.
Yeah.
So whatever happens, whatever it takes, whoever is hot, so parang gano'n na nangyari. Eventually, I was the one na medyo mainit, so I medyo nakachamba ba.
Ano alam mo yung saying na parang the harder you work, the luckier you get. Parang you create your own luck, diba? So for me, I know na you work really hard. You know, you're one of the players who really does a lot of kumbaga, extra work on your shooting, trying to stay sharp. So for me, it was just a matter of having the opportunity na you had those shots.
Speaking of yung the harder you work, di ba? The luckier you get. Parang sa akin naman, parang yung if opportunity comes, tapos hindi ka ready, mawawala. So I think most of the players lang, parang for me, I think you have to practice more than others. So when you got your shot, di ba, it will get in eventually. Parang ganun lang yun.
All right, that's a good piece of advice for all the young players out there. So this is like your first touch in the half court, and we're gonna see that you don't actually take a shot right away. Nice assist though. Okay. So when you're
Yeah.
coming off the bench and coming in, ano yung mindset mo?
Siguro parang siyempre, through experience na rin, when I was in the bench, I'm just observing the game. So what are they going to do sa screens, especially? Are they going to go under, siyempre, especially with Matt, with my teammates. So I'm just thinking, where can I get the ball? Where can I space out? So yun lang. So parang I don't think it's ironic na parang mas mahirap pag off the bench.
Okay.
Ang play for me kasi you have to sustain or surpass the energy or the level of competitiveness of the first group.
Pero I have a question. Kasi here, I mean, I know you, like in this frame here, it's a little off the three-point line. Kinda open ka, and I know you can shoot that shot. Since this is your, kumbaga, first touch mo pa lang, diba? Hindi ka pa komportable, kaya medyo nag-fake ka lang muna.
Siguro, if I'm warm up na, I'll take that shot.
Okay.
Pero kung off the bench, tapos free talaga, fast break, you have no choice but to take it.
Okay.
So,
Alright.
kasi ganyan. So, kailangan ko munang kapawis, di ba? Medyo warm muna. So, even if I can take it, but I don't think I can make it. So,
Okay.
ayun lang yung hindi ka komportable sa tira mo.
Okay. Alright. Let's move on to the next clip.
Um,
Naka-assist ka. Okay, so this one's your first attempt, and then
okay.
nakakatawa kasi si Mo parang naging screener na lang siya. Pero ano yung iniisip mo kag transition tapos yun. Ito, open ka. What are you looking at or what are you thinking of na okay, I'm going to shoot this three in transition.
I think for the guards sa akin, that's the best scenario of shooting threes with big in front of you. Kasi whatever Mo did helps me more kasi si Von na confused if Mo will take me or not.
Okay.
So even if it takes me there, I can just, siguro, meron ako konting bilis pa, I can blow by. And if I can shoot layup, meron. Pero pag wala, I can set up my teammates. But see, before, I have a coach na always follow the big. Even sa ball screen, may nag-show, follow follow behind the big, the opposite big.
Oh,
Kasi, for sure, he'll get the other man. So he'll screen your guy. So basically, this one, I think Mo kind of screen Von. So
yeah.
it helps me to be more open. Ayun, medyo
Actually, that's
luckily na shoot. Pero ano yun, I like that.
think it's
Yeah.
it's kind of smart actually. Fina-force mo yung matchup na you're forcing a big man to make a decision kung pick up niya yung bola or he's just gonna try and stop you. Kasi normally yung mindset ng big is either paint or hanap nila yung tao nila, no matter what. But I have a question also. So your coaches, obviously, Coach Alex dati, tapos si Coach Louie, tapos Coach Topex. Do they give you that green light to shoot in transition?
Siguro I think na-earn ko yung green light
Okay.
na yun. Siguro, syempre, of course, hindi not everything will turn out sa game. Syempre, everything starts in practice. Maybe sa practice, I showed them na I can make it. So, I'm just testing it. So, ayun, eventually, syempre, thankful ako sa kanila na they gave me that confidence to take that shot.
Okay. Okay. Next, we'll go to the next clip now. Okay, this is on offense now. This one I wanna show your your catch and shoot. So you missed that one, but I'll replay it lang. Yung footwork mo sa tira na to. Okay, going back. Parang nag-ano ka eh. Parang one and then hop ka. Kasi some other
Oh,
players, it's 1-2 or it's just like Stanley is like a hop. So for you, what are you most comfortable shooting on a catch and shoot na medyo on the move ka?
kasi basically, pagka, syempre, the more we age, experience sa PBA, nung una, 1-2. Pero syempre, you work on every shot. So, hindi na masyado yung ano, parang sa akin ngayon, hindi na ako, I'm not thinking about the footwork anymore. Parang it's almost automatic, coach.
Okay.
So, pero kung sideways, I think better yung hop or yung jump stop. If
Okay.
you're moving from the wing to corner, diba ganun yung sa mga shooters, sa mga spot up sa
Yeah.
amin.
Yeah.
So if you're driving, you're waiting from the wing, then you go lateral to the side, much better kung jump stop. Pero pag
Okay.
mga pa-curve, siguro mas, akin, for me, I'm more comfortable ng 1-2. Pagka, like curling, parang ganun.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Gets.
Pero minsan, okay lang. As
All
long, I mean, sa amin kasi, for us, as long as you're open, it's always a good shot.
yeah. I think, especially someone like you, na you've earned it. I think. Okay. So this one. Okay. Transition. Okay. Pick and roll. Guy went under. Just missed. Good shot though. How do you, as a player, I don't think most teams in practice would have a drill. I don't know. Maybe some do. Or maybe you guys do na parang transition pick and roll tapos kayo ng 3 points. Meron kayong drill or do you practice that on your own or how do you work on shots like that?
Hindi, wala kaming, I don't think we have like that drill na from the half court, ball screen, jump shot. I think, lalo na from the transition, oo, not. Pero kung yung mga ball screen, I mean, offense, like half court set, yeah, we do that. But from transition, we don't do it as a drill. But for me, I always practice that kasi parang for me, very few times lang I'll be open. That's the one of the few I can be kasi lalo na pagka high ball screen, transition, most likely the defender will go under. I
Yeah.
mean, even me, I'll go under.
Yeah.
I'll just test if you can shoot it or not. Then the next time, maybe I'll go over. So, I mean, yeah, sometimes I'm putting myself in the defensive side. So,
Okay.
what will I do sa akin? Parang gano'n. So, scouting reports.
Yeah.
So, lalo na pagka high ball screen, basically go under talaga. So, try
Okay.
lang.
No,
Ano lang yan ako, baga sa Sa English daw confidence, pero sa Tagalog daw, kapal ng mukha eh.
So I have a question for you. What do you think of this?
Oo.
So you played for Coach Louis in college, right?
Hmm.
Press. Like eventually go to Alaska, press also. And then you get moved to Phoenix, and then it's Coach Louis becomes the head coach, and then now it's Topex, and you're still pressing. So you've been pressing for like I don't know how old are you?
25.
Okay, well, sure. You've been pressing for at least 10 years. So for you, is it like you're used to doing this, or you understand why your team should be doing it? Anong thoughts mo on pressing?
I think for pressing, for me, it keeps me warm.
Okay.
Sa akin yung, kasi syempre, may mga teams na magba-back down, waiting for the half court set. For me sometimes, syempre, unless I'm so tired, I'll just, yung, they call it token press,
Yeah.
token defense, token pressure, ganun. Pero at first, lalo na if I'm off the bench, ano muna, press muna. So, it'll be warm, more warm faster. Ang
Okay.
ganun eh. Pero, ayun nga, going back to 10 years, 20 years of pressing, minsan, sanayan lang coach eh. Parang, I'll be surprised pag walang press. And I don't know if I'll be happy or what na walang press. Pero syempre, like you're used to it. Lalo na when you see success about press, and like you look for it na I think we should press. Lalo na pag underman,
Yeah.
di ba? Wala kaming malaking center or talagang dominant. I think we should press. Like any team na underman, even in college, press talaga ang ano. I mean, syempre, it's a cliche na defense in championship, pero it will.
Coaches they teach sprint corner, right? Sprint wide. That's what they always say. Here you followed the ball. Okay, so no, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying obviously it's good because you made a shot. But parang na-sense ka ba na, oy, may opportunity ako dito. So, anong inisip mo sa clip na to? I'll replay it.
I think siguro going back there, ang iniisip ko siguro, kasi I thought Matt will go corner
Okay.
when Brian drove.
Okay.
Kasi parang for us, syempre, may mga spots lang eh. So for us, lanes, di ba? We have lanes sa team. So basically, our lanes is big sa middle. In transition, coach, in transition. Pero we're like positionless naman eh. So in transition, we have our lanes. So wings sa side, corner, big sa middle, like every other team siguro. But this time, I don't know, parang mali yung basa ko. I think parang if I run sa other corner, they won't see me even if I'm open.
Mm,
Parang ganun siguro yung isip ko na parang ayun, may open spot, wala pa yung big. Ako muna.
okay.
And I think transition, parang meron.
Okay. Oh, here's another one where I want to ask your opinion on this as a shooter. Okay, this is actually a nice play. You rarely see something like this. Okay, so Alex takes a shot here, but you were actually wide open. Like if RR didn't pass it, if he waited half a second, sobrang wide open ka sa elevator screen. When you're open and you don't get the ball, like what do you tell your teammates?
Sa akin kasi, if that's a play of the timeout, I think I'm not the one who get mad. I think it will be the coach. Parang ganun eh. So, if the coach parang draw from a timeout, na even if someone is open, so it was Alex or whoever it is, pero yung play is a shooter who will come out of the elevator. So, it was me, na akin yung play, designed for me. If the guard passes to the other side, I'm not I'm not be pissed kasi coach na yung mga guards for sure.
Okay.
Kasi, di ba, you're a coach. If you design something, then di nasunod, so you'll get mad, you get pissed. Pero this play, kasi our play for this, talagang first option is Alex. Yung Iverson cut.
Yeah, Iverson cut.
Uh, siya yung first option, siya yung open. Okay lang.
Like there's a part here where you basically just you're standing and then you kind of sprint out of a like kumbaga change of speed. Like you're one of the ones who are really good at pretend ka that you're not doing anything, you're not part of the play, then biglang just sprint out ka. And you get a good shot here. It's wide open. Without sharing too many secrets, like what's like kind of like a trick that you do to like get open as a shooter?
No, siguro I think hindi naman yun ano, not really a secret. Kasi I saw it also from the other players, read about it from the other players. I mean, NBA and talk about some veterans na retired na. Siyempre, I asked some tips. I think this will be the time that I can pass. Parang gano'n. And I'm not saying na tama or mali, pero I think it was effective for them and for me na if, lalo na pag alam mo nga sa'yo yung play, don't act like you'll get it.
Okay.
Even they'll know it's for you. Even if you stand up, screen will come to you. Lalo na pag shooter ka. I mean, di ba, syempre, shooter especially, maraming place na for staggered screens, laging ganun eh, pin down, elevator. I think just a little pause will help to get open. Kasi parang half a second is a big deal for shooters to be open.
Yeah.
Ayan. I mean, for me, yun lang, parang run and stop, then go again. Ayun lang yung mga tips na nakukuha sa mga veterans. So, hopefully, yung mga players na manonood or yung mga coaches na shooting coach or from other teams can teach it also na not lang takbo ng takbo or don't have to be fast, should have the right timing in everything sa basketball.
It's a really good piece of advice, especially for players who aren't that athletic. Because there's a lot of players who are athletic, but they don't know how to use it properly. So it's about how you maximize what you have, and like what you said, yung timing. It's really important because you can have all the speed, but if you don't know when to use it, it's not going to be effective at all. Oh, we were talking about speed and quickness,
No?
and may konting bilis pa
Ah,
nakaka-layup ka pa eh.
nitro pa coach, napapush button pa na konti.
May konting turbo pa. Okay, so but I included this because this is one of my questions is as a shooter, right? Like you're starting to miss shots and then you just need to see the ball go in the basket, right? So I think what
Yeah.
was amazing in this game is you didn't have many free throws. I mean, this is one of the rare ones where you actually got a layup. Do making layups help you as a shooter?
As a shooter, parang what will help me more is to make free throws. For me, kasi layup is different from taking a jump shot.
Okay.
So, yung stroke, yung follow through sa free throws, parang I want free throws than layup. If I want to if I'm struggling, I think better if I shoot free throws first. Siyempre, layup will help. Pero ito kasi, I think they don't, parang sa shooters, it will be more open if you make shot outside.
Okay.
So, siyempre, basically, mag, lahat ng follow. So, yung bigs, the balls yung follow yun. Bigs, I don't know if they'll show or just hang in there until the guards go back. You can do the floater, di ba? Parang, gano'n. Pero, okay din. At least, makaka-layup pa. Munti ko na i-dunk eh. Na ano lang ako eh. Kailangan lang ako sa take-off.
Okay. But later on, I think you have a dunk later on.
Wag na.
Again in transition.
Mhm.
Okay. So in your opinion, was that like if that was the same situation again, would you shoot it again
Yes,
with
every time.
every time? What if it
Every
was
time.
what if it was a guard instead of because here
Mo,
I yeah, it's Mo, right? So I can understand why you don't want to challenge him at the ring. But what if it was a guard?
na, who's waiting for me in the rim,
Yeah,
in the paint.
yeah.
Tapos I'm open sa
Three.
3-point line. Yeah, I still shoot three. Yeah. Kasi as a player, you should know your strength. If the guard or whoever who's in the paint, like close out to me, take shot and then drive, it will be better. But that situation, like like 10 out of 10, I'll still take it.
This one San Miguel will go into a zone, and
Yeah.
okay, so San Miguel has like a different type of zone where they would put Arwin in the middle. I guess dahil more mobile siya siguro. And then they have
True.
Mo as a second line but on the wing part. He ends up matched up with you and you you go isolation with him and take a long two.
Super bad shot yan sa amin. I mean, also for me. I
Okay.
think the first one I should take it, yung when he closes out,
Okay.
dapat yun eh. Pero I don't know what I was thinking. Nagano pa ako. Pull up pa.
Yeah, pull up long two against their biggest player. Binail out mo siya. Kasi that's a win for him eh. If you take a long two against them, that's a win for him.
Three or drive it. Like
Yeah.
blow by.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So this one's like a really simple zone play that I've seen in college a lot. And here Matt hits it. I have a
Yeah.
question for you. Who is the better shooter? You or Matt?
If it was Matt, he should be here. But I was here, coach. I'm here.
Okay. I love that answer. That's a great answer. Okay. That's awesome. I'm gonna that'll be the
He will
first
agree, bro. He will agree. He will agree that. He will agree.
one.
I'm sure.
But Matt's also he's a good player, man. I'm so impressed with him.
I think Matt is a scorer.
Yes, that's actually like how I don't want to box players or classify them because I think all of you have multiple skills. But if you're gonna say like, is he a shooter or is he a scorer? I'm gonna say he's a scorer. Pick and roll, he can go ISO, he can drive, obviously he can shoot.
Com- Complete. I mean, of, paano ba to? I mean, of all my years of BBA, he's the, parang sa akin, complete player. I mean, offensive wise. But he can also play defense eh, if he wants to. But sa offense, grabe. Like, like, di ba they call sa NBA parang professional scorer? Even if you see that in practice na, ano na yung one leg na 3 points niya,
Oh yeah, I
parang
remember that.
even if you see that in practice, pag sa game, grabe, parang mapabaw ka talaga. Galing.
He's a good player. You guys have a nice team over there at Phoenix. Okay. Okay, transition, nice steal. Okay, now you're running wide. You get this fake. I really like clips like this. Like you were able to drive and then kick and then you relocated. Because I think as a shooter, sometimes players they forget, like they'll drive and then they just stand still. And then this
Yeah.
is like kind of like a Stephen Curry type of clip where he'll drive, then he'll pick, then he's just gonna run back out. Yeah.
I
Is
think,
that like a conscious thing for you?
yes, kasi ito nga, during the bubble, and lalo na for us shooters, like coaches don't want us to stand still unless you're talagang wide open. So if you drive or you attempted to drive, like one dribble lang like what I did, hindi naman talaga drive siya, just one dribble, then pass to Matt, anywhere you can go. Basta don't stand up. Don't stand still wherever you ended up. So for me, siguro, I can go on the other corner, pero medyo sinipag ako. That's why I stayed in the same corner. Pero
You
ayun nga, parang, basta don't stand around. Parang ayun yung na take away ko from that bubble na I learned more to move without the ball. Kasi I tend to just stand up eh. Like for me, I was open there, so I'll just stand up there.
they're going back to their zone. Here, speaking of a pass, Calvin hits you again. When Calvin caught it, you'll see in the clip that medyo nagdadrift ka na. What are your thoughts once Calvin caught the ball in the post?
That he'll pass the ball to me right away.
Alam mo na.
No, you have to read the defense every time. When he caught the ball, syempre everyone is looking at him. Si Calvin tsaka si Matt talaga draws the defense. Like, they can draw five guys
Yeah.
in one drive. So, everyone will be open. So, that's a matter of angle. Kasi if I stayed sa wing, even if he saw me, he'll have a hard time to pass the ball to me. Kasi yung katawan niya. Ayan, pag nag-twist pa siya, baka mayroon pa sa kanyang mag-pop na na muscle. Kasi syempre,
Yeah.
you have to put your body in the air. So, ganyan, yun, sa mga sa mga coaches, teaching point sa amin, like, if the ball goes to the middle, just drifts the corner.
Okay.
That's it. So, it's a better angle for the passer. That's basically, look, like 5 guys looking at him. Di ba?
Oo nga.
All of us are open. Justin, even Brian was open.
True.
Siguro, I was the lucky one na nasa angle.
Yeah.
Kasi, you can pass to Justin, like, backwards.
Okay, so this next one is basically that play that we had earlier, and then you shoot it, then you just missed, and then you came off, and then off an offensive rebound, you hit a three. For you, when you miss a shot and then you have a chance to shoot again, what's going through your head?
I'll make the next one. I mean, syempre, lagi, I don't know kung the coaches keep on saying it, na even if you miss 9 shots in a row, na, di ba, going back to the confidence, 10th one will go in. Malay mo, yun yung game winner. It's easier said than done. I mean, yung nine in a row, then 10 you'll do it pa din. Iba na yun. Pero yung dapat that's the mentality. I mean, ganoon lang naman yung, diba, as a shooter, our coaches said na parang no, emotionless. Yung siyempre sometimes you get caught up sa mga moments, but when you shoot it, just shoot it. It's like that. If you practice it, then take it. If you don't, why are you going to shoot it? Diba? Parang walang kumpiyansa sa ganun. That's for me, yun lang yung mentality ko talaga. If I know I'm doing it in practice, we're not in the game. Diba? Parang ganun lang.
Okay. All right. I actually think shooting threes off an offensive rebound they're really good shots. Because based on stats also, it's one of the most wide open 3-point shots.
That's from you. Alaska days. You said that. Diba?
It's true
I
though.
think harder to learn. Diba? Na like you told us na offensive rebound, like relocate. Kasi everyone's going for the rebound. Diba, coach? I think you said that's I don't know if that's the most open shot or one of the most open shot you'll get.
Yeah.
Offensive rebound.
Okay, this next one is going to be one of the I feel like Vaughn's like basically denying you already. And then here you get it back. And then a step back over Mo. That's a tough shot. But you made it. Like cuz there's like different types of step back shots. Right? So some have like the one that you did where it was like you're right and then you're kind of hopping back. Then like Kiefer does the one where it's like the James Harden one where it seems like it's an extra step, but it's technically legal. Then like Simon has the one where it's like more of a side, like a fake then side dribble. Like those are like when you practice when you do your skill work, like how often or how many reps of shots like that do you take?
For me, parang na I learned that na yung mga spot up shots, I'm taking it sa practice na last of a drill. Skill work. I always do with the movement muna, dribble or like step backs. Then last na yung spot up. Pero same quantity. I mean, ayun nga, parang syempre, experience pa rin. Before, you're doing like 300 shots, 500 to 1,000. But now, you tend to do quality shots, even in practice. Like, syempre, we always heard sa mga coaches na game like, but not everybody does that. Diba? Everyone likes the ball to go in practice. Yung mga spot up, you feel good about yourself. Pero I think the key is even if you take 2 shots, like 2 step back shots or 2 step side or whatever shot you want to make, parang as long as na game shots, that's enough. That's your game. You can get the wide open shot
both local and international.
If you're a shooter, especially,
experience.
it's rare na you will get open shots. So you have to practice.
Jay
like
Castro
game
had a
shots
great
talaga.
outing the last time out.
That's
Jazul
for me.
for 3, yes!
That's a great play.
Tutunan ko for my career na two shots, two quality, it's better than 100 shots, standing up shots.
That's why I'm asking you, because you're the type of player who relies more on being able to shoot, your skill, and your IQ more than your athleticism. I think it's big that it's coming from you, because there's a lot of guys who say that, oh yeah, I got hundreds of shots up, but sometimes it ends up being sloppy at a certain point. So it's also how you practice, and not so much the quantity as much as it as the quality. Of course, you need to be able to have both, because you're not going to get better unless you get a lot of reps up. Also, that's an interesting take. Also, this next one you'll be coming off a handoff. Okay, so Vaughn is like denying you like crazy. That's same spot, just another one next. I think they're back to back possessions. How do you even practice shots like that? The guy is basically hugging you, and then you're coming off a handoff. Like, how do you actually get reps like that in practice?
Alam mo coach, parang ngayon ko lang na-realize ngayon lang parang siguro yung basic na get open, yung mga V-cuts na sinasabi nung bata pa tayo, even there's no one is guarding you, just put a cone there or a chair, then like touch it before you go. Siguro ganun lang kasi ganun lang yun eh. Kaya siyempre to the years, you'll adapt who's ever guarding you, if it's a bigger guy or heavier guy, you'll adjust. So basically, yung pagka sa pro na or amateur, you have to learn more on footwork. I think this is just that na parang ngayon ko lang naisip na yung mga cones, yung mga parang when you were a kid na parang nakaka frustrate na but may cones, di ba? But I can just shoot it right away. Pero it doesn't work that well eh. So ayun lang, naisip ko lang yun na parang get open, simple lang. Sabi ko nga kanina, half a second, laking bagay. Like for shooters.
But it's interesting because it's kind of become instinctive already. Like, this is what you're supposed to do, even if you don't really practice it. It's because, fundamentals: get open, V cut, come off a handoff, shoot another three. Okay, so here is you're up five. You're back in the game. Okay, up five with just under 2 minutes left, and you get this wide an open shot. Okay, so what was your mentality, knowing that the time and score and the whole situation? You're up five. The clock's on your side, but you're open. What are you thinking?
Ang ano lang, my thought was, di ba I gave it to Matt nga eh.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's up to you. Parang it's crunch time. Parang gano'n eh. I mean sa akin eh. Siyempre, pag ang mga ganun, that time, we just give it to Matt or Calvin. Siyempre sila yung mga go-to namin pagka mga crunch time, just for us to space the floor. But for me, like, give it to Matt. Kasi pag transition, he was open. Kung di if Chris Ross did not go to him, siya titira niya yung 3 points yun. For sure. Like,
Yeah.
knowing him. So, ayun lang. I didn't thought na I'll be open there. Pero kasi, syempre, knowing Matt and my teammates, siguro at that time, they're thinking na I'm the one who's having the hot hand na medyo lucky day. He passed it back to me and naswerte.
Well, it's a good shot. It went in, so it's a good shot.
Yeah.
But
Notice in Miguel, they can come back like 5 points is
yeah,
in 2 minutes.
it's nothing for them.
Nothing.
Yeah. But I also think, like, and this is like in terms of more on the strategy side. Minsan inisip ko, kung may big man na nakabantay sa akin, tas titira ko, contest siya, that means the best rebounder is not inside. So
Yeah.
basically, their biggest guy is on the smallest guy, and then now you have Calvin, Jason, and Justin
Yes.
going to
Right.
the glass. So, I mean, if I'm a shooter, that's a lot of confidence. I'm gonna shoot. I know we might get the rebound. So that was your A3. Here, game is pretty much done, but of course there's quotient.
Hmm.
So you missed, and then you get
Apa.
it back, and then you shoot it again. Like, what were you feeling on that last shot? Like, I mean, let's take away the whole quotient thing.
What do you mean by good approach?
I mean, what was it? Did you shoot it because it's quotient? Like, oh, we need to keep scoring.
Yeah,
Okay, all
that's it.
right.
Kasi kung walang quotient, just stop it from there. From the backcourt pa lang, wala na. I
Okay.
mean, yun din yung ano eh. Sometimes the people don't understand, di ba? Yung
Yeah,
quotient system.
yeah. It's
But, but the people from the PBA and those coaches knows that. All the players knows that. Na as long as you get a point, even a point. Kasi I think us or Alaska or Phoenix ba yun? We experienced that half a point or point, like out kami. Yung wala kami sa top 8 or even playoffs because of that. Kasi no playoff eh.
yeah.
Pagka triple tie in the last place, no playoff. This game, San Miguel, they're not doing well at this time eh. So we're thinking like before the game pa, we can be tied to them
Yeah.
like fourth or fifth place in the mix of the middle. So it can the quotient can lift you up or bring you down. Like
Okay.
that's basically
All right. But I have one last question. After you made that last shot, did you know, like, at that point, na you hit that many threes? Like, that was your ninth three. Did you know at that time, or alam mo lang na it was a lot, but you didn't know how many?
yeah. And I don't know how many yung made threes. Kasi if I know, I'll shoot one more to make it 10.
You'll
No, for
foul,
real.
you get the ball back.
Yeah, I'll steal the ball or foul. No, no. Kidding aside, I didn't know. I just know na parang I feel good na sa mga shots ko na shoot. Parang I felt na it's my day pero I'm not really counting on the makes. Lalo na dikit. Nakakatakot makot up sa ganun eh. Yung like, oh, I'm shooting the ball very well. Then you ended up losing
Yeah.
because of that thinking na stats wise or whatever. I didn't know nga na it was almost all the fourth quarter eh. Didn't notice that until the replay ba or coaches told me na gano'n. I
Yeah.
don't know, siguro I'm just in tune. Parang sabi ko nga eh, na parang honestly, I didn't know na gano'n. Na parang okay, gano'n pala. Na parang naging big deal na 9 threes. So, syempre, ang mahalaga, inalo. Ganun naman talaga.
But I think it just goes to show na yung focus mo. Kasi you were just in the moment eh. Like, you're just trying to do what you're supposed to do, which is your job, which is to just keep playing. If you're open, shoot it. Press when you have to play defense. So I think that's a credit to who you are as a person and as a player and your professionalism. And that's actually all the clips that I set aside. It was a great game. I'm pretty sure that was your career high. 33 points, nine threes.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of advice would you give to other shooters or other young players who might have a similar game to you?
I just watch some also shooters also. Like for me, like growing up, I love to watch JJ Redick. Like siya lang talaga ang pinapanood ko. Siyempre, Ray Allen was there. Kasi sila Ray Allen made na eh. Yung mga NBA players na ganun. So I felt like I tend to like go to JJ Redick. Yung mga shots niya, mga slam. Pero hindi naman ako ganun ka galing na even sideways, can shoot fadeaways. But kids or players should watch kung ano yung game nila sa other players. And then pick up a bit of everything. Yung siyempre, simple things like footwork, yung yung follow through if they can, 'di ba? Siyempre, tsaka ayun nga, like ko na-advise sa mga players nga na yung pinakamahalaga sa shooting is yung legs. I mean, siyempre, yung follow through was there when you were a kid. Ando na yan. That's the first thing you learn to shoot the ball. Pero kids now are watching like siyempre Steph Curry, Dame Lillard shooting from the half court. For me, I didn't think na they they made it right there na waking up, gano'n na. Siyempre, everyone made a lot of practice, di ba? Starting sa may, kasi ang akin, I started like sa may malapit sa ano, no charge zone. I always starting there. Yung one hand shooting, yun lang muna eh. Kasi we have to, yung muscle memory na they called, na even if wherever you are on the floor, alam mo yung tira mo eh. Ang question na lang is yung legs mo if you have that kind of legs to shoot that ball, to lift yourself up to make that shot. Na yun lang.
Well, that pretty much wraps up our this episode. RJ was I learned a lot from you. Um, I
Thank you.
I I really learned a lot. I feel like players can learn a lot from other players. Coaches can learn from players. You know, it's I for me being a shooter, like it's a different type of mentality that you need to have to be able to shoot a lot of threes and have basically no conscience and just keep shooting because that is your job as one of the better shooters on the team. I just want to thank you again, RJ. I hope you have a good conference. I hope that we'll have a successful PBA season, and I wish you and your team good luck.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
All right, I'll see you soon, RJ.